Good evening, everyone. Hello. I'm Reverend Robin Nashuk, aka the Spiritual Spinister. Welcome to our Wednesday evening spin into the stillness. This is that time of the week that we can create for ourselves to be still, to go deeply into ourselves just for a few minutes, and to have a little discussion with our deep self, which is the self that I consider our divine self, our self that is part of the energy that is greater than than we can see, and in some ways greater than we can understand. So basically, we're meditating tonight, and we are doing it for a few minutes guided by a couple of things. First, we're guided by an intention that we set. So we reflect for a few moments on what we are either expecting to or desiring to get out of this experience this evening. What would we like to have manifest as a result of our participating in a meditation for ourselves? And so we write that down. I prefer that we write that down because it gives emphasis to whatever that intention might be. It allows us to articulate it in a way that we are stating something very specific, energetically, that we would like to have happen for ourselves because we've made this time for ourselves. And the reason that I like us to do it on little slip of papers is because if we were in person, at the end of the meditation, I would, well, first of all, you would write it down and then you would hold it with you in your hand and you would add the energy of the meditation. And then afterwards, when we were all done, I would have a bowl of flames if we were in person. And I would gather up all of those little slips of paper and then we would toss those into the flames and have them burn out into the universe, symbolizing our release of the attachment to the intention that we've set. It's great to set an intention. It's great to have the goals. It's great to have the guidelines. But there's a point where we must let go of our attachment to the outcome and to allow the universe to work its magic so that intention can be manifest in a way that is either as we have imagined it or even better than we have imagined it. So that's all that to say. That's why I prefer that we write them down. You may want to keep a meditation journal so that you can track each week if your intentions had come to fruition, or you can see if you were progressing along your own journey by writing it down in a meditation journal. It's up to you. Even if you don't write it down, there's still power, of course. It's how you bring yourself to this experience. You might want to just write it down on your hand so that you've got the energy in your palm collecting it. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. These are just suggestions that might help make the experience more tangible for you and also more clear for any of the energy out there that you would like to hear or understand what your intentions are. That was just step one. And so why don't we set that intention before we move on to step two? So grab these few moments here and then just jot down a couple of words or a sentence or so on what you intend or what you would like to experience as a result of tonight's meditation, something that might happen to you within the time until we meet again or until you join us again. So next week or 2 weeks or month, whatever you're choosing, set that intention. Let's set it now. As I've written mine down, And again, I've got a little burning bowl here that I'm going to toss this into. And guess what? I'm also going to toss yours in there too. How do I do that? Well, I'm going to write the words, everyone's intentions, on this little ticket. And then if you would consent to just send me your energized intention as you meditate, hold it in your hand, and I will gather it in this little proxy ticket right here that I also will toss into the flame. So it's just like we were in person and you were handing me that little ticket as you walked out, and we sent it into the flames and released your attachment. All right. So we are figuring out a way to make it work for us. So the second part of our guidance for our meditation is all about drawing an oracle card. And we are using the Star Codes Astro deck for our deck of cards. This deck, which I love, sorry, is a great deck because it is very clear in its messaging. And again, we consider this card, it is not, if you don't believe in oracle cards, consider the card a creative prompt. So, or a way of giving yourself a new perspective. So, whatever word or image that comes up as a result can just be your inspiration, your prompt to think of whatever you are intending in a different way or in a different perspective, if that makes sense. So, we'll draw the card and we'll read about the card, and whatever we read about the card or what it means, whatever images is on the card or on the card, that is your prompt. That's going to give you more information to allow you to meditate, be still, and hear more about from your inner voice on how you might be taking the next step on your journey. The siren reminds me that, of course, as we do these meditations in our own respective spaces, noise happens, right? Even if we find that space in our home that is just ours, we've carved that little space out for us to meditate or to relax. Frankly, things intrude because that's life. So while we're always grateful for those moments of silence and stillness, our goal really is to be able to get to that stillness from wherever we are. So if it's noisy around us, if we've got babies crying or kids screaming or the people in the apartment above us stamping on the floor or hearing other noises outside of our windows, we want to be able to gather ourselves and go a little more deeply. Now, if this happens during our meditation, I'm just going to encourage everyone to, even if it startles you, if my dogs bark, which they do quite often, you just want to make that U-turn. So you're going to be hit with it. Maybe you're startled a bit, but you just want to swing right back and go a little more deeply than you even were before you heard the noise, if it happens. So just some ways to work with our surroundings rather than feeling like we're resisting what's going on in our surroundings, because that's not helpful in getting to that stillness either. Resistance is not the way. Surrender is the way to our stillness. All that being said, let us draw a card. Let us see what that card is telling us about our intention that we've all just set. I'm going to shuffle and then I'm going to draw the top card. When I draw the top card, we're agreeing that whatever you see on the top is the card that I've drawn, rather than use my own personal intuition to draw from within the center of the card, if that makes sense. So we just agree, if we can, that the top card is the one that you're going to see me draw, and know that this represents all of our intentions. It's going to be a very specific card, but it's going to address all of our intentions. And our role in meditation is to figure out how. So here we go. We're going to do a little bit of shuffling. Hope you've had a great week. It's our second Wednesday of September. The time is flying by crazily. And as always, I'm just delighted that you are here. And that means even if you're here listening to or watching the recorded version, because your energy is getting added to this very unique experience. There may be the same people here every week, and if there were, each experience would still be unique. So that includes those who are joining during or the recorded versions or the video versions later. This one's for all of us. This card is for all of us tonight. And that card is, you can see I'm yanking that top one, is, ooh, the card is fourth house. And that is home. Fourth house and home. I am not sure if we've had this card before. I'm going to go back and take a look. I don't think that we've had this card in our group, which is always exciting to me because I, made the commitment to learn about this card, to learn about all of these cards as I draw them for myself at home, as well as for us on our Wednesday evenings. So this is not one that I believe I've gotten and myself, and I don't think that we've gotten it as a group. So that's exciting because I get to learn about it with you. Put the card up. Let's see if there it is. So I invite you now to check out the card as I read a little bit more about it. See how it makes sense. See how it is in response to the intention that you've set. It's an answer in some way, or it is a piece of guidance or insight for you, as it is for me, and wondering how it is. So let's read more about it. And again, check that image. What is the, it's got that beautiful glass rosette in the window pane. How does that fit in for you and what you have intended? All right, here we go. If your chart were a village map, the fourth house would be your home base. Our early home life impacts our sense of sanctuary and how we bring things to conclusion. Our action, and this is a good one, come home and make it a sanctuary. Create a place to renew and to live an intimate, authentic life. Home is an emotional space more than a physical address, but both matter. In the practical realm, it may be time to renovate, reorganize, or move in the physical realm, or to negotiate boundaries with a roommate. Create a home that feels safe and renewing at the end of the day, where you are truly off stage so you can drop your guard and refill your wells. The fourth house also speaks of existential homesickness, of a longing for a home you've never had. If you don't have a map from childhood to create sanctuary, make one. Be ready to do the next layer of therapy or tend to some work around family karma. Think about how you would like to have been parented rather than how you were parented, and use that as a model for self-care. I'm going to say use that as a model for caring for your soul. So self-care, I have my own opinions about it, and what that opinion really is that we've kind of diluted that term to mean, getting a massage or doing something indulgent. But I think when we're talking about it here, we're talking about it as a way to care for your deep self, for your soul, with whom you're going to be having a conversation in just a few moments. In the spiritual realm, build or visualize a meditation place, a portable sanctuary that can be home to your spiritual practice. Explore the quiet depths of your meditation. Drop down to your hara, to your center of gravity, and renew your connection with the earth beneath, the sky above, and the spirit within. So get grounded, allow your spirit to soar, and also pay attention to that spirit within again. We're going to be going there in just a few moments. If you're asking about a project, check that it is well situated. Make sure the people involved feel safe and have plenty of work work-life balance. This is especially important, I think, for those of you who are leading staffs of people in your jobs or families at home. On all these levels, develop a healthy approach to bring a project to conclusion. Know when to stop. All of you artists out there, know when to stop. Know when your creation is complete. That's coming from me, not the book. Our challenge of the card is let your home be a sanctuary that helps you prepare to deal with the world, not a place in which you hide from the world. And I think this is really important. When I was in charge of a small church here in Washington, D.C., we had the most beautiful physical space. It was intoxicatingly, energetically wonderful. And yet, it was easy to confuse that space of sanctuary with the space that we should remain forever. But the fact is, our role there, as it is with our own personal sanctuary here at home, is to prepare us for the world outside, because this is the world that most of us are experiencing on a day-to-day basis. We need to know how to approach and how to feel powerful in the world and rested and rejuvenated. And that is what comes from our sanctuary of home that we don't want to hide in. This is a place to rest. It's a place to gather people as well, because we all go back out and live in the world. The gift of this card, a sanctuary within your soul and safe surroundings in which to renew, allow your regeneration, find your center, and greet the world afresh. What a great place to go into meditation tonight, I think. So let's get comfortable. Find that little nest that you make for yourself. Find that place where you are both relaxed as well as aware and awake, in order to be able to consciously have this dialogue with your deep self. Now, I've got sound filters on, noise suppression on, but my dogs have started to bark. So while we're speaking here, you may hear them, but I want you to kind of be able to go past that to allow the tones to take you rather than the dog barking. There. So let's start by taking some breaths together. Let's inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouth. You might want to just be guided by the tones that you hear from the steel drum that I'm playing. Breathing in and breathing out slowly and deliberately. Breathing in and breathing out. And with every breath, imagine your body becoming more and more relaxed. Just allow a little scan to go through your body, starting from your feet, and just moving that little scan up, however you want to visualize it. Searching for any discomfort or tension as you move up through your body, up through your legs and your hips and your torso and your shoulders, down your arms, up through your throat, and any tension, we're just releasing it. Any pain, just allowing it to be released up through your mouth and your cheekbones and eyes. Up through your forehead and then out your crown. You are completely relaxed. I'm going to keep the card up for you to take a look at your own leisure. just allow your breathing to return to a natural but deliberate state as you're inhaling deeply and exhaling deeply. We are completely relaxed. And that means that we've let go of any of our emotional tensions or our mental stresses, which will all be there if we choose when we're done. But for now, we've just released them. And breathing deeply. And if you can, begin to imagine that body that is now completely relaxed. Imagine your body where it is placed, whether it is lying down or sitting. Imagine that body becoming a home, a structure of shelter and sanctuary. Your body is dissolving into that structure and sanctuary. Your spirit remains a part of this structure, but this structure is created of your physical self, while your spiritual self, while connected to this home, is not bound to it right now. And imagine your beautiful body of a home being a place that you love aesthetically. What is this sanctuary you're creating of your own physical body feel like, look like, smell like? Your body is a place of safety and sanctuary, of rejuvenation. And while our spirit is connected to this body and home and sanctuary, it also is not connected to it. So while we are part of its fabric and making, imagine yourself also as spirit outside of this body that is also a home. And we are actually looking upon that home with an external view. We're gazing on our home, on this creation of ours in our own minds and imaginations with awe. And as we gaze on this sanctuary, something beckons us inside. Something is calling to us. And so we approach this home that is also our body, that is a sanctuary for our spirit. We approach it gently. Whatever it looks like. And however we imagine it in our minds, we signal that we would like to enter. And almost as soon as we think of that signal to enter, we find ourselves on the inside of this sanctuary, home that is actually our body imagined as such. And when we get inside, which is just like we dissolve through, because there's no door or windows, but it is a sanctuary. As we get inside, we realize it's not like a house or a building or an office. It's an infinite space on the inside of this sanctuary in our body. And as we allow ourselves to drink this space in, we feel the safety. We feel the calm. We feel the freedom to be our authentic spiritual self. And here in this safe sanctuary of our home, our eternal home that is right now our body, we sense the presence of our deep self. We sense the presence of us, a self that is so deep and connected to all that is. We are in awe of it. And that deep self invites us to make ourselves at home as it is at home. And we chuckle knowing that we have already made ourselves at home. There's something soothing about this deep self that we've encountered in this precious sanctuary. Something soothing. And for the next few moments, we're going to communicate with this part of ourself, part of our soul. And we're going to hear what it is telling us about that intention that we set, about the card that we've drawn, and about the world and universe that we want to be in and do well for. So just a few moments alone with your deep self as the tones continue to play. Absorb, devour this information, this valuable information that is never wrong. in a few moments as I do the same with you. It's a short message with lots of power and meaning. And we just absorb it however way we are receiving it, whether it's words or a feeling or a touch or a taste or a smell. With that, our deep self just seems to gently dissolve into our sanctuaries, into the beautiful home that we've imagined in our minds. We may not understand what we've heard or the messages that we've received, but we know that just the fact that we've set that intention, it is as done as it was envisioned. And with this empowered knowledge, we choose right now to return to our physical body yet again, which we've never really left, because here it is, a sanctuary and a home. But let's start by imagining that beautiful home of a body that holds us and has been keeping us safe, starting with these few minutes, but keeping us safe throughout the day. Imagine that we can suddenly feel our breath consciously again, inhaling and exhaling. And as we do, that little spell that kept us experiencing our body as a home just begins to dissolve ever so slightly. And with it, we find ourselves first aligned with that physical being, aligned with that physical body, and then becoming that physical body, just fusing together until our body and our mind and our spirit are one and the same right now, connected and relaxed, inspired and energized. Now we recall that breathing that is right here, always been here, as we inhale and exhale. We take 3 quick breaths to return us completely to our lucid and present state. So let's inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouth quickly. Inhale again and exhale quickly. And one more deep breath, inhale. And exhale quickly. And now you can open your eyes if you had them closed. And we're back. Yeah, that was kind of fun, right? Getting into our body as sanctuary, as a metaphor. Remember, home is here first. Sometimes we may be away from our physical space, but we have to find a way to get back to the home that is here. Within, around, we are ultimately all we have. So, it is from this space of complete and utter safety and home that we can continue to create our physical space as that home, as a reflection of how we feel from here. That's the assignment. That's the homework for this beautiful, beautiful reading from today. So, given all that, let's let go of our attachment to any of it. It was gorgeous and beautiful, and I want us to remember it throughout the week. But let's not cling too tightly to it. Let's let it go. And I'm going to, which aligns with my own personal intention. I'm going to, my little light candle has gone out. Let me relight my fire, as they say. And as we do, we see it burn. I don't think you can see it there, but I'm sending this out into the universe. I'm also going to, right on its heels, send out everyone's intentions right here. I like to attach it to the flame that is burning already. So they both burn together. All that energy, all that connection. It's got to come back, right? It's got to come back in such a beautiful way. So as it burns away, as we release that attachment, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my home, that you have been here joining us. And I know Kathleen and Sue are on Zoom. Hello, guys. Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you for being here and for going home with me. So, who is anywhere else? It's always up in the air. I never know whether I'm catching the people where they are. So if you're on YouTube or Facebook, yes, thank you for being here. Let's check out the Facebooks. And again, because of there's always a delay in how the Facebook presents its events. So I may miss you, but if I don't, let's see who's there. Smiley. Hey, Smiley. And hey, Joyce and Linda. Linda, I was just thinking about you. Just there we go. Turn down that sound. And Linda, I was going through our texts and our emails, and I thought about you and was really anticipating you being here tonight. So thank you for that. And if I miss you, or if you're catching the recording, still say hello. Like, if you're catching the recorded version, say hello, because I just would love to know that you're here. Let me know your thoughts about going home tonight, about that sense of home that you are creating or will be creating in the coming days ahead, because I want to hear about it. Come back to this meditation. It'll be here indefinitely. So either put the comments in YouTube or in Facebook, just so we know where you are, so that we can have a community of home builders. Not to be confused with a home association. We don't need that. But we are a community of home builders, and we are a community of homes together. And we want to be a neighborhood that is sharing through its network. All right, enough of the metaphor. Thank you for being here. Go out, be at home, and find home wherever you are. Make that home, share that home, and let's be home for each other, and let's come back home next week at this time. Have a great night. Love you all, as always.